So this won't speak to everyone, but I'm speaking to the chosen ones. And when I say that, people might think, oh my God, you think you're better than other people, you think you're this, you're that, you're more enlightened. I don't think that. I want to put that right out there. I have always felt somewhat inherently different growing up as a child and being a super sensitive and empathic and intuitive, like very much tapped in to my sort of gifts, I guess, like that the sensitivities that some children come with often develop into adulthood as, you know, that HSP, that highly sensitive person. And we often are the ones that can feel everything. We're often the ones that can read the rooms. We're often the ones that can sense things without anyone saying a word. And it can be such a gift and a curse. And if you are watching this and you resonate, you'll know exactly how I feel. And what I wanted to touch on quickly today was just the fact that so many of us who are like this really struggle with working a 9 to 5 job, working that 9 to 5 hustle culture, that burnout. And don't get me wrong, some people love that. Some people love that and they don't see a problem with it, because to an extent, when you do this work on yourself and when you are a sensitive person and you question everything, you wake up to a lot of things that are not the norm, not society's norm, and you start to question life as a much bigger thing that which we should all be questioning. We should all just be, you know, questioning things in our life. Why are we just accepting things as they are? Because we were told to. I'm a bit of a rule breaker. It's why I do coaching for women. It's why I've coached other people. It's why I use my gifts today. And it's why I opted out of the 9 to 5 sort of grind, that kind of life, because it was making me sick and I didn't know why for like such a long time. I was getting sick at these jobs, and even in the back of my head I enjoyed them to an extent. I couldn't stick at them. I couldn't stay long enough at them, and I always thought I was the problem. Like, maybe I'm just not, you know, good at these things. But the things that I did, I was good at. But I just couldn't stick them out. And I always thought there was something wrong with me. I honestly always thought there was something wrong with me. And then when I started delving in and doing the work as I got older and as I really got into the meat of the work and realised that, you know, my sensitivities have been something to work with and not push down and not suppress. And then I started meeting other people when I started being brave and bold and traveling the world and being coached. And then after, you know, seeing what is out there and seeing other people like me and realizing that there's so many of us that have woken up to this life and being a chosen one and having an actual purpose and having unique gifts instead of, like I said, pushing them down and pretending like they're not there, is an absolute crime, because they were planted within us for a reason. And usually a lot of the chosen ones will go on to helping other people, helping people on their healing path through their own healing journeys themselves. And that is why we cannot do a normal 9 to 5 job. It makes us sick. It makes us, because we are creators. We're so sensitive to energies. We're so sensitive to picking up on and absorbing other people's, you know, like lower vibrations. And I'm not saying that as in a bad way, but we pick up everything, and that can make us super sick. That can make us ill. And that's what I'm realizing now, and I'm so glad that I chose to sort of take the risk and leave the 9 to 5 matrix, if you will, and, you know, go on to pursuing my business, even though it's a risk, even though it's a slow burn, even though it might not work. Because the other option is working a 9 to 5 and being completely burnt out and stressed and flooded with cortisol every day, doing something that my soul is telling me the opposite. So if you feel like you are a chosen one and you feel like you have a mission and a purpose in your heart bigger than a 9 to 5, you will find that you are coming up against the resistance of everyday work life, because it's not what your soul wants to settle in. And I'm just seeing more and more and more and more people really wake up to the fact that they have these different unique talents, these different unique gifts, and go for it and go and start their business and go and helping other people, and whatever that looks like. Be an artist, be a creator, be, travel the world. Take time off to, deepen your connection to self if you are a creative, if you are an empath, because it only allows you to find more of yourself. And it's so like hard to, because you can feel so trapped if you don't know this. You feel so trapped and you can feel like, why do I feel so different? Like, a chosen one is usually the black sheep of the family. They're usually the misunderstood ones, the sensitive ones, the empathic ones, the rebellious ones, the ones who always want to question everything, like I was saying. And we can't blindly follow a path that's laid out for us by other people. Like, we simply can't. Like, it just makes us sick. It makes our souls ache. And that's why regular jobs can feel so soul destroying. If you feel like you have this calling and you don't know what to do with it, it just makes it worse to sit around fighting with it. Like, I see so many chosen ones like, I'm stuck, I hate feeling like this. But the hard thing is actually doing something with it. And that is powerful, and it's powerful in itself, because you will only find more of you when you act on your calling, because you're not going to get it sitting in that 9 to 5 that you're miserable in. And what I did was, I saved up enough money to go and move abroad to Costa Rica, because I had this calling. I couldn't explain it. I had this pull to go and visit that country, and it changed my life. And it's, if we are not following these crazy nudges, as nuts as they sound, and as crazy to our hearts and our heads and our bodies as it sounds, but we have this little quiet voice that's constantly gnawing and chipping away at us, and we ignore that, we could be missing out on one of the biggest life pivots of our lifetimes. And if you're feeling called to go and delve into the work further, or go and travel, or go and try and start your business, make the podcast, film the episode, do something that could pivot you out of this 9 to 5 that is killing your soul, because there are other ways for the chosen ones, the ones with the life purpose, the ones with the mission, the soul's calling. And this isn't for everyone. This is not going to land for the right people. If anyone leaves like hateful comments, they will be just completely ignored, because I don't make this work, and I don't make these videos for anyone else other than the ones it is intended to land for. And you will know if you are meant to hear it. So I guess what I'm saying is, take that risk like I did. And now I'm working part-time while I'm building my business and still traveling. And it's, sometimes you're going to have to take the hit in the meantime to go after the thing that could change your life completely. Because the 9 to 5 life for a chosen one is just like a prison sentence. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, if you feel like you're a chosen one, stop fighting this life stop fighting this inner compass inside that is telling you to do something different, and stop trying to settle into a life that everyone else has accepted if it doesn't feel right for you.